Shalom Hebrew. Sorry. Shalom Hebrew. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The I.S.U.P.K is run today by Commanding General YAHANNA, the man with the rank and the authority under Christ to be our leader till Christ's return. I want to say Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Barakatam to my brothers, Yahweh Shamai Latan Basham, Yahweh Shai to my sisters. Yeah, and I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any other organization. So, anyone claim to be an affiliate of the I.S.U.P.K is spreading rumors. All right, law class, Wednesday night. We're gonna just dive right into it. We're dealing with the laws, our laws that are in the Bible that our people should be following. You'll find that these laws in the Bible are peculiar to a particular set of people who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians of today, who are listed in the Bible of the Israelites, listed in the Bible as the Israelites. Later on, the Northern Kingdom was kicked out of the land, the Southern Kingdom was left, and the Southern Kingdom became Jews. But Christ did say that all 12 tribes must return, which is what the prodigal son return is about. And so we have identified them to be the Hispanics and Native Indians for the Northern Kingdom, and the blacks are the Southern Kingdom. So these laws that are in the Bible, today we say they are peculiar to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And they are the record of such people, the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Welcome to our show, Real Jamaica TV. Interested? Saluting me in ancient Hebrew. I don't know who that is, but oh, I don't know. Like I said, we on every Wednesday night, we here in Jamaica, we examine more and more of our laws that our people should be following, because these laws are for our people and they are not for everyone of the world. However, when we are in charge and other nations are under us, they have to follow our laws in the same way that we are now following other nations' laws. But even when we are in other nations' country, we still have to follow our laws, because we have a contract that is called a covenant in the Bible with the Most High God that has created all things. He has even created the nations that are excluded. Then you wonder why. But anyways, a parent of 12 children is one. All 12 most time is not interested in the estate of the parents. Oftentimes it's one. And anytime the parents try to go against that and say, it belongs to all my children, you know, the estate always go apart. Always. Yes. So you're trying to disprove what is in the Bible. Everyone who has tried it has done nothing more than mess up their own life. So we don't even try, we go along with it, since as it is about us. All right, we continue our study in Deuteronomy, and we go to Deuteronomy 23. And we start reading from verse 9. Come on. Where are you, person? Deuteronomy 23, reading from verse 9. When the host goeth forth against thine enemies, then keep thee from every wicked thing. So the Most High now is setting up laws when we as a nation go into battle. Because yes, we do come up against other nations. When the host goeth forth against thine enemies. So when we go out to fight against thine enemies, we are to keep from every wicked thing. Verse 10, if there be among you any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness, that chanceth him by night, then shall he go abroad out of the camp, he shall not come within the camp. That is talking about, they call it wet dream. Having a dream and you wake up wet. So when we go to battle and that happens to a man, he becomes unclean. Because we have a law against the seed of copulation coming from a man, you are unclean until evening. That is one of our laws. So he shall not come into the camp. Verse 11 says, but it shall be when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again and separate himself from the rest of the troop, and then he goes back into the camp, providing he has bathed. So if he don't bathe before sundown, let's say he take his bath when the sun came down, he have to wait until the other day sundown before he can enter into the camp. But as once he bathed before sundown, he can re-enter the camp at sundown. That's our laws. That's our law. 12. Thou shalt have a place also without the camp, whither thou shalt go forth abroad. So when you go to toilet, the Bible call it going forth abroad. Wow, I went abroad almost every day. Right, Aquatian? The Bible is interesting. So it is saying that you should, outside of the camp, you should have a toilet. That's what it is talking about. So you don't have a toilet within the camp. This is the camp where the men are, the toilet is. So that kind of would explain why first time toilet never used to be in the house, It was out, away from the house. 13, and thou shalt have a paddle upon thy weapon, and it shall be, when thou ease thyself abroad, thou shalt dig therewith, and shalt turn back, and cover that which cometh from thee. So the weapon used to have one end with a paddle. You use it to dig your sand. So that's when you defecate, you cover it. Nowadays, we call that. You go shit a bush. Well, nowadays, if we should be going into battle, you would have toilet facilities outside the camp. If even the board toilet, that's what you generally have outside the camp with the pit. But here now it is talking about you pitch tent. You're going up a nation, you encamp here to go into battle. You pitch tent. Outside the tent, you go and you ease yourself. You ease yourself. So you're not setting up a forward camp here that you need to put up some toilets. But you still need to ease yourself, yes.
What do you use to wipe?
What they used to wipe?
You need to use. I never have this.
Well, the paper is not new to this world. I mean, you have tree leaf, you have water, you have cloth,
The profit at one time, they just trip
just
down.
like a tissue. So you wipe, throw it away, whatever it was that they used to wipe. But obviously, there were ways to cleanse thyself after defecating, so they did not bring feces within the camp because that feces is unclean. Like this is, huh? Right. And one of the reasons why this is so is that, here it is in verse 14. Read 14.
Deuteronomy 23, verse 14. For the Lord thy God walketh in the midst of thy camp to deliver thee, and to give up thine enemies before thee. Therefore shall thy camp be holy, that he see no unclean thing in thee, and turn away from thee.
Okay. So when we go to battle other nation, no other nation can claim this. There's angels among us. And this is not talking about no spiritual thing. Physical angel come down. Not with the wing and the grandeur that they show you that Esau would have you to believe, but they come down and probably no angels have no wing like how they portrayed. They are just men who in the ship chariot come down, move with us. If you remember, Joshua saw one, Gideon, Tobit, and others have seen angels. So when we go into battle, providing the Lord is with us, they are there in our presence to deliver our enemies. So when we go to sleep, the angels are at work, delivering our enemies unto us. So here now it is saying, because the Lord is with us when we go into battle, we have to keep the camp clean. So you can have feces all over in the place. Angels come and step into feces. They change their mind, what happened? You hear me? Leave them alone, they have bad. We not even fight with them. Right. So it says that he see no unclean thing in thee and turn away from thee. So it is to keep the Most High presence with us. And this is physical. We are a very interesting nation. All right, that was at 14.
15.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not deliver unto his master the servant which is escaped from his master unto thee.
Hmm. What they used to do during slavery, what Esau did with us during slavery, when a slave escaped, what they did?
Hunt them down.
They what?
Hunt them down.
And do what?
Maybe kill them or punish them.
And then what? They punish them. No, they don't hunt down slave and kill them because slave was
Yeah.
expensive.
Hunt them down.
They whip them and do what? Give them back to their master.
Okay.
But here the law says what? Thou shalt not deliver unto his master the servant which is escaped from his master unto you. So the servant escaped. The slaves run away, come to you. So that was why this is how also we know that our brothers who became maroons
Mhm.
and signed treaty that they would have returned runaway slaves. And if you run away and go to them, they return it to the British. They were in the wrong. They were actually breaking a law. So that's one strike against the Maroons. They shouldn't have done so. They shouldn't have entered into any such treaty delivering us, delivering your brother back to the master.
I actually did it.
Well, you have those though now that is in the Maroons that say, yeah, we signed it, but we didn't actually do it. We don't know. Many slaves were returned to the masters. No, no. Seems as if they did, because the treaty is lasting until now. Hmm.
Why?
Hmm?
Why?
Why what?
Why is it still lasting?
They have their own law. The Maroons are not governed by
Yeah,
laws of Jamaica
but
because of the treaty. Why they are not so governed?
um,
So in other words, they are a country within a country. Yeah.
so if slavery happen again, then we'll have to abide by that same rule. If we don't
Slavery
have
come
to.
again. White man have out them down. Trust me. So where would that slavery exist? Not in Jamaica. It's crazy that will turn upside down. That before this one. We'll have to take a stand. Well, since as you're going to enslave us, take over the bucket. Everything that way. So me get nothing, you get nothing.
Mm.
That's the way it is. Verse 16.
Verse 16. He shall dwell with thee, even among you, in that place which he shall choose in one of thy gates, where it liketh him best. Thou shalt not oppress him.
All right, so you honor from the master, and of course, this is talking about well, it don't say Israelites still in. So I suppose even if there are other races, you still don't return them. You keep them because obviously the master is treating them terribly. Really, no, not necessarily, but that's what the Christian mind would reason it. Obviously, the master must have been treating them bad. That's why they run away.
Like slavery, the ideal.
You know, it is slavery is good. You should love it. That kicking where it hurts. All right. 17.
Verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Woo! We talk about Joe Grant. The most me say Joe Grant. Joe Biden. Joe Biden being Sunday. You didn't listen Sunday class. Joe Biden being the king of Sodom. He's promoting. He's making sodomy law, and he's now going to try and he's not try because he said that he will use all diplomatic strength and power which lies within the law to enforce these gay rights on other nations. So countries like us, we are in trouble. We don't like the Pungai men, but it's gonna be law. And we also spoke of the forward movement of the army into every parish, which never happened before. And they are trying to use crime as the scapegoat. That they are doing this to quench crime. Well, I can tell you this in Clarendon down Racecourse, you have about 4 murders already. I don't see any soldier unless they come at night. And Clarendon have 2 camps. So they want to put a camp in every parish, but Clarendon have 2. And they are not too far apart either. One is in Maypenny and one is in Hayes. There's none up in the hills. Of a fact, though, this side crime is higher on this side. Let me tell you something. See, Manchester, everybody would want to live in Mandeville, don't? It's cool. Generally have big houses. The socio-economic standard of Mandeville is, above par. But do you know that Mandeville have more crime than Clarendon? Manchester have more crime than Clarendon? You wouldn't believe that, don't you? I mentioned it before. But Clarendon have more murders. Yes. And murder is what is generally get highlighted. So you might have a lot of break-ins, you might have a lot of hold up, you might have a lot of scamming, whatever. But you just have 5 murders every now and then. You are in the news more than that place. So that's the thing now. So they have 2 camps in Clarendon. But here now it is law that we do not make a sodomite of our sons. But the system is now going to tell us, push on us to teach them within the schools about homosexuality and that there is nothing wrong with being an homosexual. Hmm? And that our daughters have the right to choose. But it is a law given to us, and this is why Christians, so-called Christians, the Israelites who are Christians, they really need to come out of the church because the church is asleep, and the church knows what is coming, and they are not saying anything. But to us, it is given to understand what is to be. So we are blowing the trumpet, letting our people know that they are going to repeal the buggery law. They are going to make it law, set the law where you can teach in schools when you're doing family, home and family, now in school. What they teach about? The mother and the father, don't? Hmm? Extended families like what? Right. Grandparents and other relatives who might be within your mother father circle, don't? But no, they're going to tell you that you can have that 2 men can make a family and 2 women can make a family. And there is nothing wrong with a boy dressing up like a girl, even to go on the street. That's what is coming. That is sodomy. That is Sodom. We relive. But if you remember, that was when this this was what brought the destruction of Sodom, not the murders, not the this, not the that, but sodomy. And that's what is going to bring the destruction of the world. Sodomy, the acceptance of sodomy. Why? Because they come with a spirit that negates everything else. If say we accept a homosexual, if homosexuals were accepted in the truth like they are accepted in the church, they would be of the notion that what they say is what goes. Push you aside, force upon you. This is why they molest children. When you read the story with Lot, when they actually they physically push Lot out the way to get to the angels, but the angels smote them with blindness. Obviously, they made good their escape because they were able to take Lot the next morning and hold him by him hand, actually drag him out and send him abroad. It's the same thing is going is when those chariots come, the same way you'll be taken out. Most High will be taking up his people and rain down fire in the same way rain down fire in Sodom and Gomorrah because of sodomy. If the Bible push against it because of the spirit that is on these people. It's not a spirit that you can teach. You can rehabilitate a murderer. You can rehabilitate a whore. You can rehabilitate a drug user. But when it comes to the sodomy, they have to find it within themselves. and to see that and to say, well, you know, I need rehabilitation, they becomes unteachable. Because you go and you tell them that Saddam is wrong. What they say? Tell me.
No.
You're homophobic. You're just saying that because you don't like us. You tell a man that you know it's wrong to murder. He's not saying you're a decent citizen. You're just saying that because you don't like you don't like murderers. They don't say things like that. They might listen to you and why you wanna say sometimes I feel man I feel dead to make man live, you know. You know, him say things like that, but he's not teaching your children to be a murderer. Might teach a one child or a two child. But here, you see what is happening with sodomy. They want to teach the entire nation. They are forcing you to accept them. Murderers, you don't see, you never see murderers and what do you call them now? Murderers are whores, are scammers going out there and holding placard and demonstrating that we have rights too, and they have rights too. Because if you hold them, then you can execute judgment. You have to turn them over and try them, right? But you don't see them going out there and demonstrate that we have rights and we must be accepted. But you find that with sodomy, they go with placard and then stand up and say, we have rights. And the law is against them. But they are going to force you now to change your law to accept them. So what if murderers and other criminals should do the same? Scammers now come out and say, you can't extradite us. We have rights. We have the right to scam people because we only scam idiots. They can make a case, isn't it? Because people who get scammed most times are idiots. Eh? So scammers could make a case, but you don't see them going out there and doing that. But sodomy is doing that because of the spirit that caused sodomy. It's a spirit that goes against everything else. So the Most I hear saying that there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. All right, 18.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore, or the price of a dog, into the house of the Lord thy God for any vow, for even both these are abomination unto the Lord thy God. 19.
All right, this one. All right, I'm going to get a little further clarification on verse 18, because I think that is talking about the value. So you're taking this value, which you could use it to hire a whore or to buy a dog. But this is what you're bringing in to make a vow unto the Most High. But I'm going to get further clarification on that one. Verse 19.
Verse 19. Thou shalt not lend upon
Usury.
usury to thy brother. Usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury.
You know what is usury? Hmm? You have a phone?
I don't.
Why not?
Go for it.
Mm-hmm. Go for it because I want you to tell me what user is.
Usury. The action or practice of lending money at unreasonable high rates of interest.
So it's interest. Hmm?
When they people will give loans, bank and stuff.
They are lending upon usury. So if I hear some people say, boy, bank loan them, And just it's like they're just designed to kill you, figuratively. Well, actually, literally because it damage a lot of people' business. So that's usury. So we have law against lending money to thy brother and is another lending money onto another Israelite with interest. We have law against that. And not only money, but it's a victuals. So you come and you borrow some oil from me. I lend you a quarter fine. But upon lending you, I say, hear me. So when you come in to give me back, you have to give me 1 pint extra. I have to give me big deal more. So the most I is saying no. You lend him $100, you take back $100. So read it again.
Verse 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usurer of money, usurer of victuals, usurer of anything that is lent upon usury.
All right.
Yeah.
Verse 20 now says,
Verse 20. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury.
all right. So you can lend upon usury to other races. So if we should go into banking, following our laws, you can charge interest to them other races, but nothing. So you know what if it's a bank owned by blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Now, if that is if say there is one among us who has such money, what do you think would happen? But the law would not give him any such license. Mm-hmm. But the law cannot stop me from lending to you, whoever I want to lend to. They can't stop that. They only get involved when I am making money. Then I now become a business. Understand? Right. So now once I'm making money, taxable. Verse 1.
Still 20.
Okay.
Verse 20. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all that thou settest thine hand to in the land whither thou goest to possess it. Verse 21.
So this law was a bit peculiar to the land. However, following these laws outside of the land still make the Most High bless us and make our business whatever. When it says whatever thou settest thine hand unto do, that is talking about what? Business. Yeah. Whether you're going farming, you're going something that you as a matter of fact, our people don't call it business, no, they call it buy and sell. They call it buy and sell. And they don't say, we have in a restaurant, what they have? A cook shop. And they say we don't have apartments. We have what? High-rise buildings. Yeah. What you were saying?
No, I just come to me that when you think restaurant, and what we call cook shop, that's not what comes to your mind when you think restaurant.
True. Yeah. Even though the cook shop most of them provide somewhere for you to sit and eat. Mm. It's just since COVID, they don't really have that. Oh yeah, restaurant normally have the setting. They give a big word, ambiance. But that's the way. The most I you do things like this, and so that the most I bless thee in all that thou settest thine hand to in the land whither thou goest to possess it. And also, anywhere we go. That's what, 20,
20, yes.
21.
Verse 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it, for the Lord thy God would surely require it of thee, and it would be sin indeed.
All right, so you make a vow to the Most High. When you check it, a lot of the people who made vows in the Bible is why you're trying something and it's just not happening, and you just promise the Most High, say, you know, if you allow this to happen, I will do this for you. Like Samson, like, was it Samson? Samuel. Like, is not Samuel made the vow, you know? Samuel's mother. Samuel came under vow too. Sorry, Samson came under vow too. He was a what? A Nazarite. So the angel came to his mother and father and tell them, you're going to have a child and you are not to have to eat anything from the vine. Well, the Nazarite vow was on the child from in the womb. And I think John the Baptist as well. He was a Nazarite, so that's a vow. But in particular, Saul's mother couldn't get pregnant. So the priest said to him, you probably should make a vow to God, that. Promise him one of the child. And he said, boy, if you open my womb, I will certainly I will dedicate one of my child to you. The first child she got, she dedicated that child to the Most High. So as soon as the child was weaned and big enough, she handed him over to the priest at the temple. And Samuel grew up at the temple under the priest and served at the temple. So much so that he was able to sleep near the Ark of the Covenant. He was in the room with the Ark of the Covenant when the Most High called him as a lad. Samuel, and he come out to the priest and say, yes. Priest said, didn't call him. Come back again. Samuel, he came out. Yes. I said, I didn't call him. He went in and come out the third time, and the third time the priest said, if you hear the voice again, just say, speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. And he did that. And the voice spoke unto him. And then he came and tell the priest. And the priest knew it was. So vows, most I take vows seriously. Like a simple thing like you might say, why? God, if you help me to pass this exam, I will do this and I will do that. You laugh. But they don't understand what they're saying, Read on.
Verse 22. But if thou shalt forbear to vow, it shall be no sin in thee.
So if you don't make a vow, it's not like you're doing something wrong. So don't feel like you're under pressure to make a vow, because it's best if you don't make one than to make one and cannot fulfill it. Continue.
Verse 23. That which is gone out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform.
Repeat.
That which is gone out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform.
Read again, one more time.
That which is gone out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform.
So as simple as you take it and say, Lord, if you make me pass this exam, XYZ, the Most High require it of you. And then and when they pass out, they say, I study, me study.
Okay. Well, me not saying to do nothing. Just say healthy.
All right, continue. Read 23.
Verse 23. That which is gone out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform,
Mm-hmm.
even a freewill offering, according as thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God, which thou hast promised with thy mouth.
All right, so free will offering, like, Lord, if I pass this exam, I throw $500 unto you.
Free or more.
I give $500 into the truth, to the service of you. As simple as that, you know. The most I require it of you. It's best if you don't make the promise, rather than to promise and don't do it. And you remember in the New Testament, and this law all true into the New Testament, when Ananias and Sapphira, they didn't bring it to the priests or to the apostles and say, you know, I'm going to sell this land and give this money to you. They did it in their private chamber. Boy, you know, these brothers in the truth, yeah, no cowards, they're riding good. You know, have this piece of land, I'm going to sell it and donate the money unto them. They sell it. After they sell it and they get the money, they say, no, so we can use some of the money and do this and do that. We're not going to give all the money, you know. We just carry half of it to give them. And it cost both of them lives. Simply because it came out of their mouth. What if the Most High was to exact such promise? And then again, the amount of killing that is happening, we don't know if it's not the Most High are exacting these things. Because a lot of these parents, Lord God, if you do this to me, I will make sure some can make a pick in the coast, sir. But then again, their idea of serving God is to take that child to the church, to be brainwashed, to be programmed and brainwashed. So every the most I just lock his ear. See when he does not smell in our solemn assembly, he don't even listen. But it's in the law that in the smallest of things that come out of the mouth, the most High is going to require it of you. Right, verse 1.
24.
Go on.
Verse 24. When thou comest into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes, thy fill at thine own pleasure, but thou shalt not put any in thy vessel.
What did that is saying?
You you come and you have as much as you want, but you not carry any with you.
You can't go in a man's vineyard and you eat. Even the law of the land upholds that. No? If he come in your, if he comes into your, all right, we plant a lot of oranges out here. Grapes not really planted. Hold on. We plant a lot of oranges out here. You have the Maconels who plant orange. They are not Israelites. But let's say you go in their vineyards, orange vineyard, because you were hungry and you eat. If they even take you to court, you know, you will get away. But if you're left with any, you can be charged for that. If you want, well, whatever you call it, because the law, our law says you must not do that. Don't put any in a vessel, but you can have your fill. You understand?
But if you go to court, what's the charge you have against you?
They can say the person who taking you to court can bring a charge of purity and larceny,
Oh, that's it.
but you can get away. It's just like if you go in a restaurant because you're hungry and you order some food. They can't carry you away. They can't get, as long as you eat the food, you know, they can take you to court and win you. So what they do? Make sure you go in the back and wash up your dirty plate then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, work it back. Because they're not going to win. But if you order the food and you're left with it, yeah, you can be charged. However, that does not hold true for alcohol. You go into a bar and you order a drink, and you drink You can't go and tell the judge, but I drank because I was hungry. No, if you're hungry, you go to a restaurant. So because the restaurants know this, they let you pay before you eat. Well, the cook shop, because restaurants still
Yeah.
allow you to order. I take my family to a restaurant, they can order and eat, and they get the bill at the end. All right,
25.
25.
Verse 25. When thou comest into when thou comest into the standing corn of thy neighbor,
So this
then
is now talking about corn.
then thou mayest pluck the ears with thine hand, but thou shalt not move a sickle unto thy neighbor's standing corn.
Because the sickle does one. Sickle is for reaping,
Yeah.
where you can pluck a corn ear, one or two ear of corn. You can pluck the corn and eat it same way. It don't have to be roasted or cooked. It can be eat same as you pluck it from the field. Well, provided you can take that high starch, taste of that high starch. But it can be done, right? So it's the same thing. You can pluck it and eat it. Don't go in there and reap the corn. You know, one what they call a standing corn. What you would call it, a root grows several corns off it, right? So when you bring in the sickle, you cut down the roots. Well, you pluck the ear and leave the root. It's not yours. All right, so I'm gonna same Deuteronomy 22. Go back up to verse 1.
Deuteronomy 23, verse 1. He that is wounded in the stones, or hath his privy member cut off, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
All right, so we're looking at the who and who can. Why you laugh?
Come just realize it.
So them transsex, right? Who cut off them thing. They can't come in here. Can't come in. You have a private member cut off, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. When they say wounded in the stones, what are you talking about now?
I'm thinking the stone to get in.
No, it's not. So you talk about the balls, man. You're gelding.
Motor stone.
Well, it's the Bible put it. They cut the nuts off.
Mm-hmm.
So he's now, what's the word the Bible use? Eunuch. He's now a eunuch. Can't go in. Verse 2.
Verse 2. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
What's bastard? A bastard. Google that. Tell me what's a bastard.
An unpleasant or despicable person.
Despicable man.
This
Spell it.
Despicable.
Despicable. You know what despicable mean? I see what I spell. Unpleasant or despicable person. What else? They have other meaning.
That's the noun. The adjective is no longer in its pure or original form. Debased.
Or,
That's it.
right, you ever talk about bastard mango. Person,
Oh, there is another, sorry.
yeah.
A second definition for the adjective.
Mm.
Born of parents not married to each other. Illegitimate.
That is Esau's. Huh?
Yes,
Oh,
you guys not married.
we're married according to the laws of the Bible.
Oh. No.
But that is Esau's definition, right? So, but You are parent, you are not given to your right father.
Mm-hmm.
You can't enter the congregation. You're a bastard. Or you are born, you have an Israelite, one of your parents an Israelite, and the other is of another nation. You're a bastard. Yeah.
When you say not given to your right father, you mean somebody else is not the father raised you?
Drop it.
Oh my father.
Hmm?
What if your father died and he come in after and
You were an orphan, and then I get another somebody replace someone in the place of your father. That's different. But I think this bastard is more referring to the Israelite with children from other races.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the time of Nehemiah, when we were rebuilding, they they couldn't come in. They said, no, that's the bastard they don't want in the temple. So the father may be an Israelite, but the mother, some other race. Or the mother was an Israelite, and the father of another race. But they were grown in Jerusalem. Still a bastard. Verse 3.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
But in 10 generation after, can't come back.
Verse 3. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
So the Ammonite and the Moabite is one. Today's races there, today's nation there.
One is the white man,
Nope.
one is the Indian.
The Ammonite is the Japanese. The Moabite is the Chinese. Two of them always move together. Ammon, and Moab.
One is Korean.
Korea.
Mhm.
There are two bastards, north and south. Bastards between the one is I go. The north is the male Chinese. The male Chinese who impregnate the female Japanese. And the south is the male Japanese who impregnated the female Chinese. That's how you end up with north and south. But they are brothers, one nation. The Koreans, that is. All right, continue.
Verse 4. Because they met.
No, you never read that part of 3.
Okay. We don't read it then?
Yeah.
Verse 3. An Ammonite and a Moabite shall not,
Or Moabite.
or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. Verse 4. Because they met you not with bread and with water in the way, when ye come forth out of Egypt, and because they hired against the Balaam, the son of Beor and Pethor of Mesopotamia, to curse thee.
If you remember that story, and the Most High turned the curse. Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. Nevertheless, the Lord thy God would not hearken unto Balaam, but the Lord thy God turned the curse into a blessing unto thee, because the Lord thy God loved thee.
Right.
Verse 6. Thou shalt not seek their peace, nor their prosperity, all thy days forever.
So we should not seek peace from them. We should not seek any prosperity from them. Forever.
Verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian.
All right, so Edomite is who? Hmm?
The white man.
The white man. They are the white man. Children of Edom. But the word you're going to look for now is what?
Google.
Yeah, which word are you going to Google?
Abor.
Thank you. So what does abor means?
Regard with disgust and hatred.
So someone that you can't take. Ooh, I can't take him. Watch him. I can't take a bone in him. You know that saying? You look at that person with disgust. So it is saying that you cannot, you shouldn't do that to the Edomite or to the Egyptian. Continue. I'll read it again. 7.
Verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land.
All right. So the Egyptian was a stranger, and you were a stranger in the Egyptian land, even though he did oppress you. The Edomite is your brother, because he's whose descendant? Esau. Esau, Jacob, where Jacob descendant is Esau. Huh? Yeah, and their father is Isaac. So you should not look at them with disgust. Verse 8.
Verse 8. The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord in their third generation.
All right. In their third. So at the time when Moses was setting up this, those that were around, the Egyptian, the Edomite, they couldn't come in the congregation. But those who were born 3 generations later could enter. Of course, they didn't. The Edomite didn't come in. I think they came in the time of Christ. So, some of them came in, and you see what they did. They don't come in to follow, to be led by you. They comes in to lead you, teach you your own ways, tell you what to do. So you can imagine, I'm here, I have my house, and I allow someone to come in, and they are going to come in my house and tell me what to do in my house. Huh? That can't happen. Come out of my house. Even at the time when we were rebuilding the temple, Nehemiah, the Edomites were the ones who were carrying the news to the king. So you can't make these people rebuild. The Egyptians didn't come to help us. You understand? So they have excluded themselves. Even in the time of Christ, even during slavery. As a matter of fact, it was the Edomite who did it. The Egyptians didn't come to help us. So all these now, they can't come in our truth. Not allowed in our truth. Until which third generation? Yeah, that was then, the third generation from Moses. So they have the time to do that. And all they have done is to have taken crafty counsel against us. Come, let us make the name of Israel no more in remembrance. That's what they seek to do. Come and learn our ways and work against us.
When it said third generation, I thought it meant like the ones who are alive now, like this generation, like 3 generations later.
Yeah.
But then no, but if you think about it already, then the next generation, for this one, have 3 more. But then
So you want to go back and reinvent the wheel again? You want to be a Christian? Give them a chance. You know what they're going to do. They'll prove themselves already. This was in the time of Moses, that's what I'm telling you. When we were setting up the congregation, then the generation that was there, the Chinese and the Japanese cannot enter, none at all, because of what they did. The Egyptian could have, because we were a stranger in their land. But That generation who oppress us, no, they can't come in the congregation. But they're not their children, nor their children's children, but their children could enter. Did they enter? They didn't. And it wasn't we who barred them. They don't come to enter. If you remember, Egypt marched against us at one point and took away all the vessels out of the temple, but they gave it back within short succession. The Edomites found Babylon. Oppression. If you read, you want to know what the Edomites did? We can read Obadiah. Understand me?
Yeah.
All right. As a matter of fact, okay, let us go to Obadiah. All right, let's go to Obadiah. Book of Obadiah. Which is just one chapter.
Like a preview.
All right, read verse 1.
Verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God. Concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
So Edom was who?
Right.
Esau. Right? All right. Now, this is what Esau have done. And this is what the Most High have said. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised.
So the Most High tell us said, you have become this out of all the nations, you have become despised.
Verse 3.
Oh no, hold on, not tell you where else. Read verse 10.
Verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
Again.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
Again.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
And Jacob is who?
Me.
So for his violence against us, what is going to happen?
Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Thou shalt be?
Cut off forever.
So they can't come in the truth. The violence against us has been perpetrated already, and they are seeking to do more because they are going to push homosexuality on us.
I think I know the way.
Well, this is actually referring to like slavery, when they mash up, they destroy the kingdom that we had before slavery, and bring us into slavery. This, yes, but they also, well, yeah, Obadiah. I think Obadiah was before, a little after the Babylonian captivity. But watch this now. Read 11.
Verse 11. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them.
So they join with other people against us. Understand? Read 12.
Verse 12. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress.
So they were happy to see us destroy. Now we were the apple of the most High's eye. Other nation. He sent other nation to punish us because of our wrongs. But what did Esau did? Help them when he wasn't sent to help them, but he helped them. Also, not only did he help them, he was happy to see it happen on us. For the most, I don't like him. All right, 13.
Verse 13. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity.
So when the nations came against us, as a matter of fact, they showed the nation where to the gateway to come amongst us. They know the way to come amongst us because of what we were reading in Deuteronomy, where they can come amongst our congregation up to the third generation. So they come and they did what? What they did with the information, what they learned. Join with other nations to bring us down. That's what they did. All right. 14.
Verse 14. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape, neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress.
All right. So those who were trying to escape, what he did, cut us off. Kill with a kill and turn over some to the invading force. Now, because of this,
15.
hold on. 18.
Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and
So fire does what? What does fire do to the stubble?
the stubble.
Stubble is pieces of wood. Burn it, consume it to ashes, right? So he's saying the house of Jacob is a fire, and the house of Esau, the house of Joseph, the flame. Joseph was a northern kingdom. And the house of Esau is who they are going to burn on, right? So this is northern and the southern kingdom. Well, the entire Jacob is the entire Israel, but the northern kingdom was Joseph. And
they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it.
so the Lord is telling you that none not going to leave. What the sense you're bringing them in the truth? To do what? To come scout you out and make you into, slavery finish. General Leanna brought out what they've been using the media to work against us. The one who hold the majority rights of all the black producers, I think it was Viacom. So even though you see those movie stars and something, they own no rights to their work. Esau still own it. All our inventions today, Esau still own it. So we now have to do this. Go to 6. Go back up to 6.
Verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are its hidden things sought up?
Through the work of us in the truth, because we don't have them amongst us. So we are now able to look into the dirty works that they are doing and expose it to our people. So they are not, you can't welcome the enemy here, and they have made themselves God's enemy. Take me now to Malachi 1, 2 to 3. And you have some of there was one of the fake Israelite group who allowed them to kill me.
Wow.
What do you mean? That house has been destroyed. What do you expect to happen?
Malachi.
One, 2 to 3.
Malachi chapter 1, verse 2 to 3. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
So the Most High tell us that you love us, and say, which part are you love? You don't love we at all. So he's saying that was not
Esau Jacob's brother,
Mm-hmm.
saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob.
Right. Yet I chose Jacob and not Esau. Verse 3.
And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains, and his
And I did what?
laid his mountains.
And I hated Esau.
And I hated Esau,
And
I laid his mountains.
I hated Esau.
And I hated Esau.
Who is speaking? The Most High God of Israel, whose name is? Yahweh. He's saying that, and I
hated Esau.
And I
hated Esau.
So if God ate them, who are you to come and love them? You'd be a damn ass. All right, continue.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
All right. So, dragons of the wilderness, some destructive force. All right. And you could have read 3 and 4. But let's go to Romans 9 and 13. That's what we are bringing out. Because of our people's love for Esau, they battle you for why the white man can't come in the place. They're not battling you for the Chinese, the Japanese or some other reason. But why the white man? So we're showing you why the white man can't come. Romans
chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Read again.
As it is written.
As it is one.
Written.
Where is it written?
The Bible.
All right. As it is written. It's written in the Bible. Continue.
Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Jacob have I
loved, but Esau have I hated.
And what he said in Obadiah, there shall be what? None remaining of the house of Esau. So they have no place in the truth. They have no place in future. Because they have hurt everything on the face of the earth. People, animal. America was a land crawling buffaloes. The Indians strive from buffalo. Just because he want to bring the Indians into subjection, he killed the buffalo. I mean, you're talking about a man who is willing to fly a plane over your head and spray some gas in the clouds so that gas vaporize the cloud, pull away the cloud. And if the cloud pull away, what happens? You get no rain. So he's willing to damage your ecosystem just because he wants to punish you. He wants you to bring yourself into subjection to him. And now we see where they are gearing up for you not accepting homosexual laws. They are going to do what? Not lend you money, not have sensible diplomatic relations with you. This is the kind of man you're dealing with. So should you and such a man be willing be under the same council. Yeah.
They said if we took China's 5G thing, we have to ask them not to come in, right?
Thank you. Forgot about that one.
What did we do?
I don't know. We stuck. That I can tell you. Because they're telling you, if we take China's 5G, it's going to affect down to the money that we are to lend you. But in that, we have to recognize that what we're doing is just swapping black dog for monkey, meaning we're just trading, ouch, we're just trading slave masters. We have to recognize that. Whoa. What about the muscle contract? Salt. More salt in my diet put up my pressure.
You're stuck.
It's a between a rock and a hard place. All right, Matthew 5 and 17. Because these laws were there. And what Christ did, Christ came what he did.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17.
We're reading 17 to 20.
17 to 20. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily,
Hold on. I have not what?
I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right, so he did not come to remove the laws. He only came to fulfill what the law spoke of. Continue.
18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall not.
Which means not even the least, whichever law you consider the least, not even that law will be removed from the laws until.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
Thank you. Continue.
19.
And as all being fulfilled yet?
No.
If you want to know if all is being fulfilled yet, look who is ruling the world. White man is still around. And the Bible tells us that none of them shall remain. So all the laws will stay in place until all of them gone. Because it says all being fulfilled. It's talking about putting us back in power. Continue.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right, so he shall be the man in the kingdom of heaven that sweep the street. If you're lucky enough to get that job, he might be the man in the kingdom of heaven who sits by the wayside who you pass without any regard. Because all Israel will be in the kingdom. Because will be ruling. All right, continue.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Verse 20. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees.
All right, the scribes and Pharisees thought they were righteous. But Christ did not accept their righteousness, did he? He was in constant battle with them, don't? Right. So whatever righteousness you come in with now must exceed them. Or the same thing that met, same faith that was meted to them will be meted to you. Understand? Yeah. The same that was mete out to them. Past senses met. The same faith that that brought them down will bring you down. All right, finish.
Ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
All right. Verse what now? Oh, we stop at 20 on that one. Take me to Mark. So Christ is telling you that he did not come to remove the law, so the law is still in the place. However, Christ also said this, Mark 13 and 10.
Mark 13 and 10. And the gospel must first be published among all nations.
So Christians use this to tell you that all nations have a lot and part with Christ. All nations can accept Christ. And what the Christians said, take him as a personal savior. Have you accepted Christ as your personal savior? Oh, goodness gracious, man. Yeah.
In the Bible, when the verses are in red, what does that mean?
When the words are in red,
Yeah.
especially in the New Testament,
Yeah.
that was would mean that these are words spoken by Christ.
Oh.
All right, so it says, verse 1, 10 says,
10. And the gospel must first be published among all nations. Continue.
Mark 13.
Verse 10.
Oh, this is Matthew. 13 and 10 says, and the gospel must first be published among all nations. So they use this to tell her that the white man, the white man will get the gospel, the Chinaman, the Japanese, the Arabs, and so on. So what the white man does now is set up evangelical move all throughout Africa. However, his evangelical movement was geared toward black skin people. He had no evangelical movement in China, in Japan, among the Arabs. They did not.
Was it in Africa, the white man with the long hair claiming of Jesus and people that found him?
Yeah. So he can get some prison sentence or then kill him or something. So what you understand from verse 10?
I'm assuming the gospel is not about us, the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And it must be available for all nations. Yes.
All nations like?
I'm thinking everybody.
You're thinking everybody. All right, go to Matthew 24 and 14.
How much?
Mm-hmm.
Matthew verse 24. No, sorry. Matthew chapter 24, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
So the gospel that they're talking about is the gospel of the kingdom of God, right?
Yes.
Must be preached in all the
World.
So the white man tell her that the world is this earth. So if the world is the earth, and it is to be preached in all the world, it's one earth. Then should I not carry the gospel to other planet then? You understand? So the word world here is not the earth. It is talking about age or society.
Oh.
Right? But which world is it to be preached in? The world of the Israelites. And I'll show you that. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness to all nations, and then shall the end come. Why is it to be preached among all nations? I don't know. Take me to Acts 2 and 5.
Acts verse 2.
Chapter 2.
Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling of Jerusalem. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
So who was in out of every nation at Jerusalem. So this is telling that Jews were, and they were. Look at this thing.
Dwelling at Jerusalem.
And they were devout men, and they were dwelling of Jerusalem. But one more thing, it's right there.
Of every nation. Under.
So they were coming out of what? Every nation. They were coming out of every nation. So how are you going to reach the Jews that is within every nation? The Israelite that is within every nation, how are you going to reach him? All right.
The Jews that are there dwelling. Their Israelites are just people from every single nation.
What makes you a Jew? At that time, what makes you a Jew?
Jews are Israelites.
You were of the seed of Jacob. So being a Jew here meant that you were either Benjamin, Judite, or a Levite. But there were other tribes there, you know, who, when the Northern Kingdom was went into captivity, many of them escaped to the Southern Kingdom, and dwelt among Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, half a Levi, right? So, being a Jew, you were of the seed of Jacob. So, out of every nation, within every nation, you had the seed of Jacob, right? How did they get there? Take me to Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Give me Deuteronomy 4 and 27 before that.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen. Whither?
Hold on. The Lord shall what?
And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations.
And the Lord shall?
And ye shall.
And the Lord shall?
And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations.
And the Lord shall?
Scatter you among the nations.
The word there is what? Scatter. So what it means to scatter? Give me the meaning of scatter. Deuteronomy 4, 27.
To scatter is to throw in various random directions.
All right. So you do some throw out various random direction. So we were thrown out into what? 27 again.
Among the nations. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations.
Continue.
And ye shall be left few in number among the heathen.
Where then?
Whither the Lord shall lead you.
All right. So within the Chinese, the evidence said there you have approximately 1 million black people living in China, right here in Beijing.
Never heard it before.
Okay, well, there is a lot. Within Japan, you ever heard them talk about some black Japanese?
I've heard Blasians.
Blasians.
Black Asian. But Asian is almost.
All right. So the seed of Jacob is within every nation because the Lord has scattered them. Because when we're not keeping the law and send the other nations among us, we end up in their kingdom. Plus, from thence we migrate. When they call them the Grecians came among us, the Greeks, they came among us, came against the southern kingdom in the time of the Maccabees. Israelites were taken throughout the various kingdom of the Greeks. That was the same isles of the Greeks the Romans took over. At the time of Paul, when he was writing to the Ephesians, the Galatians, the Philippians, that's the Isle of Philippi, the Romans, that was Rome. What else? Name me them. Let me see if we can. The Thessalonians, no, Thessalonians, there was an island known as Thessalonica, which was a kingdom of the Romans. So Jews were within all these territories already. So when he was writing to them, this was when the school called the church then was being set up amongst them. In the same way that you have Command General Yana, now there's a school in Jamaica, there's a school in Trinidad, there's a school in Brazil, setting up in Canada, all about. So if you should have scriptures in the latter days, then you would have a book of Jamaica, a book of Trinidad, so on and so forth. You understand? Because we are being scattered among these nations, and it was the Lord who did it. Take me to Deuteronomy 28 and 64 again.
So those schools that they set up, that's how you get the gospel too. The others. And the witness will be the person within the school.
All right. And the Bible is in the how many languages?
I don't know.
Basically, all the languages that you have in the world. Right? Do you have a Spanish Bible, don't?
Yeah,
you have a Spanish Bible, don't?
Yeah.
All right. Why? The Northern Kingdom, majority of them speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil speak what language? Portuguese. Portuguese. You have a Portuguese Bible, don't? Because you need to reach the seed of Jacob that is scattered within Brazil. Mm-hmm. Right? You have what other language? Chinese. You have the Bible in Chinese language. Because the seed of Jacob that is among the Chinese need to get the gospel as well. So the Most High has caused it that the Bible, which brings the gospel about the kingdom of God, it must reach all nations, which is Jacob's seed, which is within all nations. You understand? Right. So the gospel is for the seed of Jacob, because who was the law given to? Was it given to all nations?
No.
It was given to who?
Israel.
So if it wasn't, and it tell you that you only have known of all the nations of the earth, which is in where is that? You ever hear that scripture before?
No.
All right.
Question: is Chinese Mandarin, or is Chinese like an umbrella term for other sub-languages in China?
I don't know about their language, but there are several languages in China. And the main one is called Mandarin Chinese. Mm-hmm. All right, Amos 3. Book of Amos.
Okay, that's right.
What's this?
Amos.
Chapter 3.
Chapter 2.
Hold on. 3. Verse 2.
Amos chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
You only have I
Known of all the families of the earth.
read verse 1.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
This word that the Lord has spoken against who?
You.
You who? Continue. You who?
Sorry. You, O children of Israel.
So this word that the Lord has spoken against the children of Israel. Continue. Against
the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
So this that he's speaking was for those 12 tribes. So you call them families because each tribe is a family, right? Read.
You only have I known of.
You only have I
known
of
all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So who will punish? Exactly. Who went into slavery? Was it all nation?
No.
Oh, but now that you are to reap the sweet grape, it is for who? All nation, eh? And then I go so. Doesn't work that way. So when punishing time, we get punishment. And when sweet time, everybody get it. Everybody want to get it. It don't work like that. And the Bible shows you that it doesn't work that way. And if you go around to Revelation, if you go to Revelation, where is it? Okay, Revelation 1 seal. Was it 13, 14 to 11? So Revelation tell you the revelation of who? All right, go to Revelation 1.
Chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Says the revelation of?
Jesus Christ.
Continue.
Which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
All right, so it was revealed unto Christ, the things that to come, right?
When called shortly.
2,000 years. About 1,000 years like an evening in the sight of the Most High. All right, go to 11 and 3. Read 11 and 2 first.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 2. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot.
It was given on that part was given unto who?
The Gentiles.
And the Gentiles was who? All the other nations except Israel, eh? Read verse 11. Sorry, verse 3.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy. Prophesy. 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
So they shall prophesy, clothed for 1,200 days, clothed in old clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So we were speaking against the oppressor, not dressed as kings, but we were in sackcloth. When sackcloth is old clothes, what happened to it?
No.
Sackcloth is old clothes, right? I'm showing you that the gospel is for Christ, for the seed of Jacob. The two witnesses was who?
I'm not sure.
All right, read verse 4.
Verse 4. These are the two olive trees and two candlesticks standing before the God of the earth.
So when in the time of Solomon, when the Most High revealed that he was going to split the kingdom, it was split into how much? And it became the northern kingdom, and the northern kingdom was known as the house of Israel, and the southern kingdom, house of Judah. So that's why you get two witnesses. So the gospel have to reach the two witnesses, the 12 tribes who fall under the two witnesses, right? All right. The next part now I'm going to show you is go to Revelation 7.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
All right. This is the wind of the nuclear bomb. Right?
Oh.
Read 2.
Verse 2.
We're reading going down straight to 8.
Verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
Saying,
Verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
all are the servants of God sealed? By teaching them again the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
So the servant, the angel that have the seal of the living God, it wasn't a stamp. Yeah, come boom in your forehead. It's you coming to class and learning the laws of the Bible again, so that you know that you must not become a whore. You know as a man that you mustn't make mother man sleep with you. You know that you must not steal, that you should not trouble your neighbor's things. You should not kill. You should not eat pork. You should not this. You should not do that. All the things, you should not be a coward. All the things that here we talk about within the truth. This is the sealing that the angel is carrying out. So who get it? Continue.
Verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed, 140 and 4,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
And all the tribes of?
The children of Israel.
And they are reading what? Which book?
Bible.
Which book you reading?
Oh, Revelation.
And which book comes after Revelation?
Nothing.
So that's the end. So in the last book, it says who was he sealing? All the
children of Israel.
All the tribes of the children of Israel. So they are the nation that which the gospel must be reached, because that gospel has with it the laws of God and telling you about the kingdom. And this seal, these people are being sealed for the Most High. They are of all the
tribes of the children of Israel.
Read verse 5, going to 8.
Verse 5. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Verse 6. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Verse 7. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed. Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Verse 8, of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
All right. So even 12,000 of us, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, and guess what? Benjamites is scattered all about England, because the majority of who is in England is Benjamites, because the British had Benjamin. Um, the Isles of the Caribbean, and there are many more has migrated to America. So don't let anyone try to brainwash you in believing that the gospel is for everyone. The Most High allowed them to hear, because the other nations to hear, because they need to hear. Because when the time comes for your redemption, they are the ones who are going to be shocked. How are they counted among the children of God? And we have um we have valued his life for nothing. How could it be? Right? Hmm?
So how could you deceive us so?
How could who deceive them? And them deceive themselves,
But
because Rome knew what was the truth. But because they are coming during the time of the Renaissance, they want to coin things in their favor. So what they did, they suppress the truth, put themselves in it, and bring that out, so that the world will see them as the person who God look like. Now, every nation have a God, you know. Anything your God look like, you are going to hold it in high regard. So they put themselves there. They make God look like them and Satan look like us. So you find that they treat you like nothing. But they have another guest coming. Any other question? All right, I'm going to leave you with this one. All right, this book is in the Apocrypha, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 5. You have access to it, you can find it here. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 5. And we're going to close with that one. You're going to read it. Wisdom of Solomon.
chapter 5, verse 5.
Yeah. So this is one of the books that they took out because it's too revealing.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 5. How is he numbered among the children of God? And how lot is
Or is.
and how his lot is among the saints.
Right. So this is the heathen now saying, how is these people numbered among the children of God? When they come and they see those chariots come and they take up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they are going to be shocked, because the gospel they are spreading now is that Christ died for everyone. Everyone have access to salvation. When it is only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the seed of Jacob that needs salvation, that needs to be saved from all these atrocities that comes against us. Everything that they throw on us to destroy us, with the hope that they would get rid of us altogether. because we are a pain in the ass to them. Because why? Because it's we God love. And they know also that the, is we the blessing flow to. So this is why they have to come with you with all kind of schemes. So as to take your blessing. So you have those like the Judites, they are able to invent and so on and so forth. Who own the rights to the invention? The white man. They are able to, they are good, they act. We Benjamins act too, but we don't really get into the Hollywood kind of thing. But who have the rights to those movies produced by those rich, big, popular um, Jacobites in America, Judites, who own the rights? Esau. As rich as they are, the basketball players, anyone of the sports who make millions out of sports, the music industry, who have the rights? Because they know that it's you, the blessing following. And the only way they can take your blessing is to have you under subjection. So this is why they tell you the things they tell you. But now you are getting the seal of the servant of the Most High. You have to take it. Up to you still. Take it or leave it. But I will tell you, take it, just like what Paul says. You two roads before you choose one, but you have no choice now because what is coming? I've heard no more for my two younger child than for you because you passed through the system already. You understand? So be fooled by the doctrines that is being placed out there, which is not so. Right? Question, any other question? Hmm? And with that we say Amajam, which means to stand. Where is the thing there? We're just gonna say the Lord's Prayer and salute. Give the east, Amanawa, Shabashamaya, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahawa, Malakwatka, Taba'a, Ratazaki, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamaya, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawam Watnawa, Kasatnawa, Kawam Watyanawa, Walaha, Tabayanawa, Banasayawa, Abal, Awashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Taka, Amalakwat, Wahahala, Watapara, Laiwalami, in English. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So we pray for the poor. Yahweh Basham Yahushai Barak Babakasha. Nathan Lanawa. Akal. Akal. Larapa. Kal Makala. Wakal Madawa. Akal. Lataha. Amatazari. Akal. Nahakwayam. Amatia. Akal. Ilrakawa. Atamala. Nagarashan. Washam Yahushai. Tawada Aman. In English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, power to raise the dead, power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh. Thank you so much. And be not be fooled. When we are casting out evil spirit by you coming to this class, the spirit of what they're trying to teach you. All right, one courteous salute to the teacher, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim Barak, Yahabashim, Yawashai Barakatam. Courteous salute to the female, turn off the female, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim Barak. Yahawashai Ilatan Basham Yawashai. Hands down, class.